Before we get into the definitions, it's worth knowing that this module draws on 4 leading sources, and they're all pretty well aligned. We've used the CERT Common Sense Guide, 7th edition, from Carnegie Mellon University, US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, Australia's Critical Infrastructure Security Centre, CISC, and the Mitre Centre for Threat-Informed Defence. Where they use slightly different language, we've gone with the definition that's most practical and inclusive for the Australian context. Let's step through the key terms. Across all 4 sources, the definition of an insider is essentially the same. Here's the consensus. An insider is an individual who has, or previously had, authorized access to an organization's critical assets, including its people, facilities, information, technology, systems, or networks. That's a deliberately broad definition. An insider isn't just a full-time employee. It includes current and former employees, contractors, subcontractors, and consultants, vendors and third-party service providers, anyone given a badge, system login, or network access, people with knowledge of the organization's operations or systems, even if they no longer have active access. CISC specifically flags that third-party contractors and vendors can actually carry a higher risk than regular staff. They often go through different onboarding, may have less familiarity with your security culture, but frequently get the same level of privileged access as a full-time employee. The uncomfortable truth? This definition includes all of us. From day one, we're insiders. Here's where all 4 sources come together into a solid consensus. An insider threat is the potential for an insider to use their authorized access or knowledge of an organization wittingly or unwittingly to cause harm to the organization's mission, people, facilities, information, equipment, systems, or networks. A few things worth unpacking there. Wittingly or unwittingly, intent doesn't matter. Whether someone meant to cause harm or not, the outcome is the same. Authorized access or knowledge. You don't need active access anymore. Someone who left 6 months ago and still knows how your systems are set up remains a potential insider threat. Mission, people, facilities, information, equipment, systems, or networks. The scope is broad. It's not just about data. It includes physical assets, people's safety, and the organization's ability to operate. CERT also introduces a useful companion concept. Insider risk, the impact and likelihood of an insider threat actually occurring. Your organization might use insider threat and insider risk interchangeably, but strictly speaking, risk is about how probable and how damaging a particular scenario could be. Not all insider threats look the same. Our sources identify 3 distinct types, and understanding the difference matters. Intentional, malicious insiders. This is the one most people picture. It's someone who deliberately misuses their access to cause harm, whether for financial gain, revenge, ideology, or because they've been recruited or pressured by someone outside the organization. CISA notes that many malicious insiders are driven by a perceived sense of injustice. They feel wronged and want to get even. Their actions can include leaking information, stealing intellectual property, sabotaging systems, or enabling fraud. CISC adds an important nuance for the Australian context. Some insiders act as a proxy for foreign government or business competitors, either willingly, under coercion, or without even realizing they've been used. This is particularly relevant for critical infrastructure. Negligent insiders. This is someone who knows the security policy but ignores or sidesteps them out of convenience or complacency, not out of malice. They create risk without intending to. Classic examples: letting someone tailgate through a secure door, ignoring software update reminders, or leaving a laptop unlocked at a cafe. CISA classifies this separately from accidental behavior because there's an element of conscious choice involved. They knew the rule, they decided not to follow it. Accidental insiders. This is the person who generally made an honest mistake. No bad intentions, but real consequences. Sending a sensitive document to the wrong email address, clicking a phishing link, improperly disposing of records that should have been securely shredded. CISC flags that this category is becoming increasingly risky as AI-powered social engineering improves. Phishing attempts, deepfakes, and convincing impersonation are getting much harder to spot, which means that well-intentioned people are more vulnerable than ever. Here's the reality. They look exactly like you and me: a trusted colleague, a long-term contractor, a well-liked manager. There's no reliable profile. CISC makes it a really important point here. A dedicated, loyal worker can become a threat quickly if a real or perceived grievance forms. It doesn't require someone to be predisposed to criminal behavior. Sometimes it's opportunism combined with the right circumstances, and that can happen faster than anyone expects. That's not meant to make you suspicious of everyone around you. It's meant to remind you that awareness matters, habits matter, and the systems we build together to keep each other accountable matter. When we talk about protecting against insider threats, we're talking about protecting critical assets. Across our 4 sources, these fall into a few consistent categories. People, staff safety, personal information, and workplace availability. Information, confidential, sensitive, proprietary, or classified data, including intellectual property, customer records, financial data, and strategic plans. Facilities and physical infrastructure, buildings, operational equipment, control systems, power sources, logistics, and physical security systems. Technology and networks, IT systems, operational technology, OT systems, networks, communication systems, cloud environments, and data storage. Financial assets, accounts, trading systems, supply chains, and procurement. CISC, given its focus on the Australian critical infrastructure, particularly emphasises the risk to operational technology systems. Things like SCADA with industrial control systems, where a malicious insider can cause prolonged outages with very real physical and community consequences. Every organization needs to identify which of these assets are most critical to their operations and apply the right level of protection. The starting point is knowing what you've got and knowing who can access it. So have a think about which of these your role gives you access to.